I'm like, the what? They're like, yo, the Playboy Mansion, like the midnight summer Eve's 4th of July party.
Damn.
I'm like, oh shit, he gotta go to this, right? Like, man. I'm like, what's the problem? And they're like, yo, Chief said, fuck that, he can't go. So our Chief was a dev group dude, Coco. He's fucking awesome. He's laid back and he loves it as much as anybody else, but he just cause it's kind of like, nah, you can't go, man. Like, we're training, whatever. So they came to me because I'm like, like I'm fucking like, yo, bro.
Dad said no,
So
Mom.
yeah. But then the platoon commander was like vehement. No, you're not going. And so I had to take the dude for a walk. I say, hey, man, listen, man. How many times have you heard of anybody going to this midnight summer Eve's party? And he was kind of like, well, fuck, like he's gonna be gone for 3 days. And I'm like, look, man, I don't care. Like, let's make him tell us stories for the next 6 months. Like, we can live on this weekend for 6 months. So I got him to like agree.
Yeah. Morale's important, man. Morale of a unit is hella important.
And this dude just ain't some random dude.
Right.
All right. So I was telling Chris this shit.
Because at this point, it's not like he's going. It's like, dude, he's doing this for all of us. Yeah,
right.
yeah, exactly.
Whole platoon is going. Okay.
And that's a lot of weight to carry on your shoulders to an event like that, dude, because you got to perform.
So this dude, his dad was an oil dude from Texas. He went to Texas A&M. He was part of the, they have an enlisted cadre. So they all go to Texas A&M, get their college degree, and they enlist in the SEAL teams. They have like an enlisted SEAL platoon at Texas A&M in the regiment. Is it regiment? Cadet Corps.
Cadet Corps.
Yeah. At Texas A&M. Yeah. So anyway, I tell the story, like one of his funniest stories ever, man. They bought a chimpanzee, okay? So they had fuck you money. They bought a chimpanzee. They had this chimpanzee, man. He said it was the coolest shit in the world, man, when it was little. Like they had trained it to get beers. And so like they'd have a party and they'd be like, hey, and then motherfucker chimp would run over to the refrigerator. He'd get a beer. He'd open it. He'd hand it to you and shit. Dude, and they were pissed though because they couldn't teach him how to get 2 beers. So they were always pissed because they had to keep sending him back to the fridge. And he would go get the beer, bring it back, right? So he's like, yeah, man, that motherfucker got to 9 months, started hitting puberty, and he started fucking beating people up, right? Like they were like, oh fuck, so they had to keep him in a cage.
Yeah,
but they were feeding him like just people food. So he said, man, that we would feed him oatmeal in the morning. And he would put the oatmeal in his hair and he'd make an oatmeal mohawk. And then he would fucking shake the cage. And they were like, oh my God. They said, man, one day that dude was like fixing to break out of the cage. They had to put him down.
Oh, man.
So like dude already got crazy ass stories, right? Like he had chimpanzee in college. I don't know about y'all. I didn't see no chimpanzees in college. Like I had a Slurpee machine in Michigan. That was about as close as I got to a chimpanzee.
Not quite the same.
Yeah. So anyway, we, it's Friday. He got to catch a plane. We driving to Richmond. He get on a plane. He gone. We don't think that we train all weekend. And we come back. He comes back and he showed up at like Monday morning, man. And he looked like, he looked so fucking bad, bro. And so I was like, oh shit. And so he was like, we were both first time platoon dudes. So he came to me and said, hey man, Jake, listen. He's like, whatever you do, don't drug test me. So I'm like, all right, I need to hear some noise.
Honest, dog.
He said, listen, man, they had bowls of cocaine, Jake. I said, cocaine? That's okay. That's out your system in like, 48 hours.
Right.
I said, okay. He said, man, they had bowls of ecstasy. I said, okay. I said, what else they have? He said, acid, man. They had acid.
Everything.
I'm like, bro, acid. He's like, look, man, you go in the bathroom. They had this special bathroom. It just had a line of drugs, man. The whole countertop was drugs. It was a bowl of cocaine. He kept saying, it's a bowl of cocaine, Jake. You just stick your whole face in it, man. I'm like, oh my God.
Just Tony Montana, dude.
So like literally, that's how the story starts off. Like he's back 5 minutes. He's like, look. So I'm like, hey man, I go to Chief because Chief is cool as fuck. And I say, hey man, listen, you need to put that dude down for a couple of days. He's like, I got you. So he slept like the rest of that day. And then the next day he was on the range with us, but he didn't do nothing. And then, the story started coming out like that third day. Right. And when I tell you, like, it was some of the best story time, like we sitting at lunch. Hey man, what happened? He's like, dude, I got off the plane. A limo picked me up with 3 Playboy bunnies. Dude. Like, what? He's like, I got my dick sucked the whole way to the mansion.
Oh my
You're
god.
like, oh my God. And then he'd be like, yeah, June, October. We were ordering Playboy magazine so we could like correlate the stories
Right,
to
With
the
the
pieces,
faces.
right?